for the message this morning, I've chosen an alternate text because this just seemed to be what God was speaking to me. And it's out of the first chapter of 1 Corinthians, verse 18. For the message about the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For the message about the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. Brothers and sisters in Christ, grace to you and peace from God our Father and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. Cross has been on my mind more than normal lately. And like many of you, I wear lots of crosses. This cross is normally worn with the elk that has been destroyed. It's all stained and torn and everything. But not long after Doris and I were married many years ago in my first call, we bought 2 crosses. One for Pastor Jerry Trelston, the pastor I worked with, and one for me. And when I wear this cross and I'm leading worship, it's a reminder to me, first and foremost, of what Christ has done for me, what he's done for all of us, and for my role in serving him. Then there's this other cross that you've seen me wear a lot. I wear it most of the time. And it gets some interesting conversations going. It's called the Jerusalem cross. It's actually 5 crosses within a cross. And this is a cross that when we do men's retreats, at the end of the retreat, we give these crosses to men. And it's just a reminder again to me of people that care about me, but also what God has done for me and what God expects from me. And on my finger, I wear one ring that Doris gave me, where she promised to love me forever. And I challenge her all the time on that. You know, we were married in Utah. In the Mormon church, you're married for time and then eternity. Doris thought time was just plain enough. But I was given this cross too at a men's retreat from a friend. It's got a cross on the ring, where a friend looked me in the eye and reminded me that when I see this, to be reminded again of what Jesus Christ has done for me and for all of us. But also to be reminded that if I'm ever at that point where it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm in trouble and I don't know who else to call, that I got a guy to call. And I would remember that with this ring. So pretty significant. But you know, the one thing about these crosses that we wear and have and so on, they're all kind of nice and pretty well polished up and everything else. And that's not the cross. The cross is a messy thing. It's splintered, it's blood-stained, it's had nails driven into it through bodily hands and bodily feet. But even though we wear these kind of shined up crosses, we remember that ultimately that is the cross. The price that Christ paid for us. As the verse says, the power that is in that Christ to free us, to forgive us, and to give us life. Good memories. A few years ago, we got one of those text calls that you don't want to get. And it was about our granddaughter. She was in grade school at that time, and she had been injured on the playground. And her kneecap was not where it was supposed to be. It was, like closer to the back of her leg than the front of her leg. And she was in great, great pain, and she was absolutely terrified. And for some reason, the people at the school didn't send anyone with her when they put her in the ambulance. And so she was without her mom and dad, and she was without anyone she knew. She was in that ambulance terrified. And she would tell us later on, in such pain and so terrified, until the hospital there in Olympia, Washington, is St. Joseph's Hospital. And there's a cross on that hospital. And she tells us the story of how when she saw that cross, she was reminded of who that's about. And that Jesus was with her. And that Jesus was not going to leave her. And the pain was still there, but a peace came over her. And I often think, what a great witness we have on the side of our building. I use Frank Road a lot because, especially now that Randall is going through all of this, I think I come at this intersection once a day. And how many hundreds, how many thousands of people have been blessed because we stopped at that stop sign and saw, that's the cross. And I'm glad we haven't cluttered it up with other stuff, because to sit there and look at the cross and realize and be reminded again of what Jesus Christ has done for us, what Jesus Christ has done for humanity, and the charge that Jesus has given to us in that cross to serve him. Well, of course, there was someone the other day that didn't stop at that intersection. Next picture, please. And there is our office. And it's been interesting in these days since that accident to see what survived. Most everything in the offices were destroyed. Really glad that Pastor Greg's glasses were okay. But he hadn't found them before the service last Sunday. He did that without his glasses. Little things like that. But you look in that room there, and the utter destruction. Wires hanging. Steel that you think of as so strong, just bent and out of shape. Stuff coming down out of the walls, stuff coming out of the ceiling. And I look at that, and sometimes my life feels like that. If I am in a place where I'm taking God's place and trying to do things on my own, or things that happen to me, I will tell you, there was one other time that Doris and I got that call in the middle of the night. Calls in the middle of the night usually aren't good, are they? Unless it's like a baby's being born. We got that call in the middle of the night. We had been in our home in California for about a month, so we didn't really know too many people there. Got that call in the middle of the night on Labor Day weekend. My parents telling me that my brother had been killed in an accident. He and his buddies were out drinking. They were all drunk. And to the news that my brother had been killed, 20 years old. And I remember coming back home into my parents' house, and it felt like life was like that for our family. Just all torn apart, torn to pieces, everything we knew. But the cross of Christ was there. And the one thing I'll never forget about that weekend was, it was 2 days after the accident, and I stood at my mother's kitchen sink, and I saw that down the street, the young man that had been driving the pickup drunk, was surrounded by some friends, was coming toward my mom and dad's house, and I wanted to run out onto the porch and say, "Don't come! Get away from us!" What would be? But see, the cross was in my mom and dad's life. And some of you have heard this before, but I just will never forget the testimony that it was that they welcomed him at the front door, that they took him into their arms and held him, and led him by hand into the living room where they could talk forgiveness, because of the power of the cross of Jesus Christ. And you know what? I looked in that office the other day, and there was a time last spring after Pastor Greg and I started doing this, and we were at the Thursday Bible study, and Allison brought us a cross as a gift. Well, okay. Look, the one thing in the office, it's there, and it's like it's overlooking everything else. It's the Celtic cross that Allison gave us at the Thursday morning Bible study. And the sight, it's just that the sight of the cross just helps us to remember the promises that we have of forgiveness, the promises that we have of healing, the promises that we have of empowerment. Next picture, please.